Hey guys, what's up? It's Megadan29, and you are watching Richard Dubya. Dubya.
Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Richard Dubya here. What's going on? So yes, this is finally the Galloping Ghost video with me, Megadan, and my sister. So as the story goes, is that Megadan was talking about, saying he wants to record some things at the Galloping Ghost. And so I'm like, okay, well, I would like to go too, and I'm figuring, maybe we meet up and we could, be cameramen for each other. And so, in that aspect, we decided to, okay, let's try and make plans. So, I requested off a couple weekends, had him pick which one. We were able to settle down on the May 18th. So on May 18th, we were able to get together at the Galloping Ghost. And then a week before that, I asked, hey, my sister really wants to go, and not to mention, I don't like driving, so I want somebody else to drive, just because my car's not really up to specs. And so I had my sister drive, and she came along. And it's a nice, couple hour drive, had a nice long conversation with my sister, and we finally arrived. Oh, man. Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Richard Dubya here. What's going on? So as you can see here, I'm out at the Galloping Ghost here in Brookfield, Illinois. So we're here to meet Megadan. So we're going to go check it out. I'm going to text Megadan and check out where he's at. Such a nice place. From the outside, it doesn't look like much, but then you go inside and you're just like, wow. Oh, man. Like, it's an exciting place, and one thing I would do differently if I go there next, which I'm thinking of going next month, possibly, if I can, is making sure I'm thoroughly hydrated, and probably wear shorts and short sleeve t-shirt and no hat, because I wanted to keep up the YouTuber image, and that was kind of bad of me to do that. I was nervous to meet Megadan. Like, is he the same as he is, online, as he is in person, we get there, and he's not there, so I figured, okay, we'll just walk around, we'll capture a little bit of footage, and, we'll look at the different games and see what's there, and then, I'm like, oh, yeah, I should probably text him, let him know I'm here, and say, okay, hey, where are you, and stuff. And apparently, he was already here. So, out in the front of it, and I will say, he was a little smaller than I expected. In no offense to Megadan at all, he's very scrawny. Like, he is a little dude. But yeah, I mean, he's a great guy. Again, not used to seeing him without a hat, so he looked like really different. But from a distance, he kind of looked like this kid, with this Game Boy backpack. But yeah, I introduced him to my sister, and we talked for a minute, and then my sister went off and did her own thing, which is fine, it was more of me and Megadan thing, you know, and that's more of her thing to do, is just to go off on her own, which is fine. She went off and did Mario and stuff, and all these racing games and stuff, which, you know, if I get her to record a small video, I'll pop this in. Hey guys, this is Richard Dubya. So this is my sister here, Danni Dubya. And she's going to tell you a little about her experience with when she met Megadan and went to the Galloping Ghost. So she drove, and well, tell me what you thought of Megadan when you first met him.
Well, I hadn't seen any of his YouTube videos at that point because I don't watch as much as I should, especially considering what my brother does. He was a lot shorter than you'd expect. Other than that, no, he's a pretty chill guy. I mean, he reminded me a lot of you, obviously, because the video game craziness that everybody's addicted to. And then I know you guys kind of wandered off and did your recordings and stuff. And for me, it was more getting to walk around and look at everything and just see, because obviously, you know, we grew up together, and our dad had all the video game cabinets from working at a game repair company.
Well, it was they built them and they maintained them. Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, so
what games did you play?
Well, going through, I obviously had to go to the one that we had growing up, which was Super Pac-Man. It was split with a different Pac-Man game. I don't remember which one it was.
Maybe it was like Miss Pac-Man, or
no, I don't know. It was like one of the regular Pac-Man ones. Nothing like Miss Pac-Man or Pac-Man Jr. It was a different one. But I played that one first, obviously, because I had to warm up and I had to warm up, and I really liked that game. So it was good to get back into the habit of that, because obviously I didn't live with the parents, so it was easy to get back into the habit of playing that. And then just walking around, it was anything that looked interesting. I mean, obviously I've seen Wreck-It Ralph, so for me, I wanted to play Tapper, and I found a Mario Kart racing game that was interesting. Obviously, I was pretty good at that because I'm good at racing games. Ask Richard, I always beat the crap out of him in racing games.
Yes, you are very kick-ass at the racing games. How many seats were there? Was it a two-seater or was it like a four-seater? Was it just one player?
Just the one player.
Okay.
Just the one player. I was like, two-seater or four-seater? No, it's just the single-player racing game. And with me liking racing games, I actually played another one. I don't remember the name of it, but it was the one in that back corner, that like 1812 or something. It was like a gangster themed one where like you had to basically run into the other vehicle to get them to stop. And
okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's called.
I don't remember what that one was. The next time we go, we'll have to take a look.
Yeah.
But yeah, I ended up basically going through and walking around and being like, oh, this one looks interesting, I'll play this one. I mean, I played I
think you played Mario too, didn't you?
Yeah, I played Donkey Kong and then the original Mario Brothers on the system. And Donkey Kong, obviously, I'd seen before, but I'd never actually played that one for the arcade game. And that was interesting. I was horrible at it, but it was fun to actually get to see and play the game that I've obviously seen my whole life. I did get to play this sniping game. Dragon's Lair was one of the good ones that, like, obviously I think we'd played it on a different game system when I was younger or something. I think. I remember us playing it when I was younger, but I don't remember where or how.
Dad used to have it on the Commodore, I believe.
That would make sense. I played that for a little bit, and honestly, the first couple minutes of playing it, I died every time because I couldn't remember that it was the comic book. I was like, oh, the comic type style, whatever.
Right. And you have to have like pin precise movements.
Not even that. It's that it would start playing, and I wouldn't understand that that's the start of the game because it would literally just go into. I'm so used to games having like an intro where they bring you through, here's the story, here's the main character, and then...
So basically it looked like a cutscene, but it was actually the time that you were playing.
Correct. And I didn't understand that, at least at first. And then I got a little bit better, but I definitely didn't make it very far.
Okay. If you were to go back there, say next month, what would you want to play?
Well, I know from last time I played a lot of games that I'd at least heard of before. I was kind of jumping through which ones I thought I'd like, and I tried to push myself to play a couple that I'd never played before, just because I'd never heard of it, and I'm like, oh, this one looks interesting. And I have to say, like, I found a couple that were kind of interesting. Like, I don't much care for Dragon Ball Z, but I played the fighting game because one of my friends loves it, and I'm just thinking I'm going to start playing stuff that I haven't heard of. Obviously, I played stuff that I know that I like, or that I know I'm going to like. Like, I really like Cubert, I think that one was. Like, I like all the puzzle type ones, stuff like that. Not really fighting games.
So, when we were at Chinese, what did you think of the Chinese place?
It wasn't bad. It was a pretty good Chinese place. They, Megadan was wrong during his video. Yes, bring food, but bring it in a cooler in your vehicle because they don't allow outside food at the Galloping Ghost. However, next door, you can leave after you pay your fee to get in. You can leave at any time and go get food and come back. And next door is a really good Chinese place that they had pretty good portions. Like, I even had a small of whatever I had because I wasn't going to eat the whole thing and didn't want to try and put it somewhere. And yeah, I stuffed, and it was good food.
Yeah. So when's the next time you're going?
That's a good question. I work the days that you have off, so it's a little bit more difficult to try and find time that we both have off, especially because I have to take a vacation day or you have to take a vacation day.
Mm-hmm.
But sooner than later, I have a couple friends that I want to bring because it's a really, really fun place. I mean, next time I kind of want to either stay closer so I can go there 2 days in a row or get there much earlier, because this last time we had to get there later in the day because of my own schedule. Or no, we got there, you know what I mean. We were in there in the afternoon, noon to 4, and it really wasn't enough time. You have to be there for like almost all day if you're going to spend the time there.
Yeah. Almost like we have to like get a hotel out there just so we can wake up, drive back there, and then go back and play.
It's like drive down late at night to get to the hotel, and then wake up early the next morning. Well, get there by 11 when they open, and then be there all day. Like, you'll still not get through everything. It was so much. Yeah. I probably spent at least half my time just walking around looking at it because there's so much to just look at. Yeah,
there is, and there's a lot. There's a lot. You know, and just me spitballing, I'm thinking about doing it like more towards the end of July.
I have to check what's going on, but yeah, I'd probably be up for going again.
Okay. And then, you know, I know my buddy KJ and probably Megadan would probably be down for that too, so more people to meet. Mm-hmm. Other than that, final thoughts.
Well, besides the fact that you're weird,
fuck you.
and Megadan was pretty cool to meet. He's a pretty chill guy. Like I said, he reminds me of you, which is very odd.
And very awesome.
I guess.
Opinion.
Quiet Peanut Group.
But besides that, it's a really awesome place to go. I mean, it's definitely worth the drive. For us, it's a couple hours. And I had to drive through Chicago traffic and everything, so I thought it was worth it. So.
All right. Well, thank you for recording this little bit for me. I appreciate it. Just wanted to share your perspective on it too, because you were there, you were present, you drove. You know, I wanted to make sure that you got your fair share. So, again, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, no problem. Bye, guys.
First thing we did was we had him take the camera, and I tried to do my little walkthrough of there. And Well, here, we'll just show that right now.
So yeah, we're going to walk through the Galloping Ghost here. Here with my friend Danny from Megadan29. Check out his channel in the description down below. But yeah, I mean, this place is huge. Like, this is probably the biggest arcade I've ever like been around. You know, and I've done arcades before where you know, like at State Fair Park for Wisconsin. Since my dad was part of the Red Novelty, which was this company that actually made some of these arcade games, not necessarily these ones that are here right now, but like he allowed us to like beta test those games to make sure they actually work properly for the patrons themselves.
This is the shooter room. These are all shooters. Life Force. Yep.
One.
Granny's 2. Megadan was getting his ass whipped in this earlier.
Alright, let's get back this way and then. Yes. I'm still getting my way around.
It's a big place.
Oh my god. I mean, you got stuff that's in tight packed, you know, spots. This place is just fully loaded. Wow.
Welcome to the fantasy zone. Get ready.
Probably over 400 or 500 cabinets here.
Oh man.
WrestleMania.
I don't know how like anybody like goes through this in like a day if possible.
You can't. You need to spend a whole weekend here.
I'm just taking this all in. Like I can't get it. So this way is bad.
You're good.
Are these like made cabinets or do they actually come like that?
You know, that's a good question. I think Neo Geo machines had multiple. I think so. Could be wrong. Beachhead. Ninja Baseball Batman. I'm curious to know what Dubya first plays.
Oh, that's a good question.
It's hard to pick.
Oh, I know. It's like,
What's your all-time favorite arcade cabinet, Dubya?
NBA Jam.
NBA Jam, that's cool though. That's
I
an awesome
don't really
game.
care for sports styles, but I'll play the shit out of it. Or like Simpsons Arcade.
Oh yeah,
Pretty good.
X-Men.
I'm trying to like go through the arcades and like try to remember which ones I have actually like been through and whatnot. Because it's been so long since I've actually touched like real arcades, other than the ones that they have on the movies.
It's true.
This one I kind of remember. This one I kind of remember because I had the gun and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Lethal Enforcers.
Lethal Enforcers used to be at my arcade.
This is definitely like the area I know.
Zombie Raid.
I got to play this once at the Midwest Gaming Classic. Carnival.
Carnival's awesome.
Oh my god, I had my ass handed to me the first time I played that. Like, oh my god. Oh, like, there's so much stuff. Like, where do you begin? I remember my dad actually used to have like this actual like display top here. And we didn't have anything for it, you know, but we had the actual display top for it. And I have some of these, not necessarily like this particular one, but I have ones like for Punch Out and let's see, Mario Bros. No, Donkey Kong, and a couple other ones I never even heard of. Well, yeah, but see, I want to kind of up the Area 51 here, even though it's like a game I played.
Area 51 Megadan29 is W's first game at the Galloping Ghost.
I know, it's lame.
It's alright. You're alright.
Yeah, this is gonna be one time.
All original cabinet.
You'd be pretty good at it too.
Another game I had a chance to play was based on the movie Crawl. Now, I'm probably just going to include a text version of what it's about here. Just because I don't remember off the top of my head. It's one of the movies I remember as a kid watching. It's one of the movies that I actively sought out to watch. Just... You're gonna laugh. It's mostly just because of this blade. You know, it's like a 5 or 6 blade device. It's like a boomerang, but the blades are like curved like this, it looks really cool. And to see him go and bring it back and then throw it out again, awesome. The arcade game was nothing like that. It took me 5 minutes, maybe 2 or 3 minutes to figure out that, oh, this is a twin stick shooter. Whoops. But I was able to figure it out. Wasn't the greatest game in the world, but hey, at least I got a chance to play something new. One of the games I did get to play with Megadan was Ninja Gaiden. I might be doing these out of order just because it's been a while since we were there and my memory is kind of slowly slipping from that. Not that it wasn't memorable, but yeah, Ninja Gaiden as a beat 'em up. What? Now, when he was talking about Ninja Gaiden, you know, through the Voxer, and you know, I heard that Ninja Gaiden was at Galloping Ghost. I'm like, okay, so I'm just gonna prep in my mind to think that it's just like the NES game. No, it's a beat 'em up. It would be more similar to Double Dragon, just about. Except it's Ninja Gaiden. And you know, we bumped hands because my hands are so huge and the controllers are so close together. You know, I imagine they're meant for kids. But yeah, had fun playing Ninja Gaiden. You know, we took turns like putting credits in because we had to like hit the button to put more credits on there so that way we wouldn't die. Because if both of us died at the same time, that's complete game over. But as long as one of us was still alive, we could continue. One of the toughest parts in that game for me was the jumping. Like when you had to jump up to platforms and stuff, that was quite difficult. I don't even remember how to do it right now, but it required a little bit of figuring out. But once you get it, I mean, the game's pretty much golden. And then, you know, as we were walking around looking at all the different games and stuff, in that one first room, we were waiting for the Simpsons arcade game to free up. And I believe after we were doing Crawl, we actually met the owner. And this is the part I left out in my previous recording, so this is why I'm re-recording this over again. But yeah, we met the owner. You know, for the life of me, I don't remember his name. I don't. I am bad with my memory. But yeah, we met the owner. Dan got to take a picture with him. Had me take the picture, and he gave him a coin. Now, since Megadan had this coin already from his bachelor party, he gave it to me. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I also got to shake the owner's hand too. The owner is a really nice guy. He works at least 100 hours a week, just going back and forth throughout these games. And I kind of feel bad for him because, like, you know, it was a bad storm that day too. So I can just imagine him having to go out to, maybe out to his car and then drive to the pinball place, which is like 2 blocks away from what I heard. I haven't been to it yet, but eventually I will. But yeah, guy works hard for his thing. I wish, you know, there was like a donation thing, you know, where I could like try and do like a charity stream or something to donate to these guys. You know, give them a little more fun so they can probably get more people in, so that way they can get more people fixing the machines. You know, I think this guy deserves everything he needs, you know. It's a great arcade, and I really recommend going there. You guys should go there. It's a really fun place. $20 a day. They're open till from 11 to 2 a.m. every day. You can't beat that. That's a great freaking deal. I don't care any way you slice that. That's a great freaking deal. You must go if you like arcade games. If you like games in general, I think you guys would enjoy it. But yeah, Megadan was asking me questions, you know, like, oh, what's your favorite arcade game? And I forget what other questions he asked me, but like, you know, for me, it was between 3 things that made my brain not work. It was, one, I was a little on the dehydrated side, which was an error on my part, and I will not repeat that mistake. 2, I was overwhelmed by how many video games I saw in that first room. I keep saying that first room because I only thought it was just that room. I thought that was the arcade because there's a lot in that first room. The third part was meeting Megadan. I got a little starstruck, and you know, it was kind of like overwhelming overall. Me and Dan kind of share the same personalities, and you'll see me and his streams, you know, and we'll, you know, kind of troll each other in each other's streams. But we all know it's all in good fun, and that's the great part about it. So he suggested, you know, we all go get some food, and luckily there's a Chinese place like right next door, even though it's like pouring freaking rain. And so, because I have the ticket to get in for me and my sister, because I paid her way in for driving. She drove, I paid her way in. And so, he brought us over to next door. A nice Chinese place, a little small hole-in-the-wall Chinese place. Very nice lady. She took our order. And what's nice too is that they also brought it to our table too. During this time, you know, we got to sit and talk with Megadan. We got to tell him a little about us, you know, about our childhood and how we grew up and stuff. The Chinese place was decently priced. So yeah, we finally make it back in, and then we finally get to the Simpsons arcade, which was finally freed up. That was one of the arcade games that I do remember playing as a kid that I really wanted to play. Now, the monitor on it was really dark, and because it was really dark, it was somewhat difficult to play, but you know, we still beat it anyways. We still beat the game anyways, which was awesome. I loved playing that. That was one of the games that I really enjoyed playing. And then he starts showing me the rest of the place, you know. And so in the Galloping Ghost, there's a big room, which is where you begin, and then there's a smaller hallway, and then there's a skinnier but longer hallway on the end. So this place is gigantic. Like it's bigger than you can imagine. I guess, you know, a Target would be a good proximity to how big this place is. But yeah, and then when the AC hits you, it's like, oh, it feels good. Thank you so much. But yeah, it felt so good being in the nice cool air. And because my sister had to leave for some other thing, we had time for one more game, and so we played Heavy Barrel. Now, Heavy Barrel is one of those games that I typically associate with Megadan. And it's mostly because of the way he said, Heavy Barrel! Let's play the noise. Now, I know he thinks it says Heavy Barrel! For me, it's Heat Up! But yeah, I mean, we had a lot of fun playing that game, and the one thing that he also pointed out too is that some of these games where they have multiple games on it, there's actually like a little knob or even just a little nub that you have to turn to switch it to that game. And so we had to switch the cabinet from whatever it was to Heavy Barrel, but had loads of fun. Beat the game, loved it. I loved it so much that I actually bought it for the NES, which you'll see on a future pickups video. Spoilers. Final thoughts. So, I would say, first things first, if I were to go it again, I would remember hydration. Gotta remember to stay hydrated, because it is crazy hot in that first room. And I would also like to add to also alternate between the rooms that are a lot cooler and the rooms that are a lot warmer. You know, play a couple games in the warm room and then go into the cooler rooms to cool off and go play those games. I mean, there's more than enough games to go around. Second, pretty much do a better video of like walking through it, just because and you'll see it too, is that I was walking way too quickly and I was trying to pan around way too quickly, but it is what it is for this first one. And yeah, I would say next time I'm going to be playing Ninja Turtles when that happens, and I want to play Heavy Barrel again. And then I'm not sure what else I want to play, but I know I'm going to want to play a lot. I would love, you know, for me to be able to be there till 2 a.m. in the morning, and then, you know, either stay at like a hotel or be able to drive home. But sometimes it's just not in the cards. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you like my content, please consider supporting my channel. Otherwise, this is Richard Dubya saying, have a good morning, have a good afternoon, have a good whatever. Catch you guys later.